I'm Scott with ScottGuitar.com, and in this session I'm going to teach you the major scale. You've heard of it, the do, re, mi, and also the 1-4-5, and why that should be important to you. I'd like to ask you to please subscribe to my channel and visit my website at ScottGuitar.com. I also offer Skype lessons. So let's go ahead and zoom in and get started. Okay, here we are with the major scale, the do, re, mi. I'm going to show this to you in the key of A, and that's the E string on the 5th fret. Now what I want you to do is put your middle finger there. We're going to start with our middle finger, and then we go to our little finger 2 frets higher at the 7th fret. The reason we're starting with our middle finger is the major scale will teach you how to assign a finger per fret. That way your hand is not moving, your fingers are doing the work. So let's start with the middle finger on E5, little finger on E7. Next fret we're going to the next string, we're going to the 4th string, 4th fret, 1st finger. Next fret, middle finger, 7th fret, little finger. Next string is going to be the D string at the 4th fret with your 1st finger. Skip a fret, 3rd finger, and then the little finger. That stops at an A note. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Starts with a do, ends with a do. So it starts with an A, ends with an A. So practice getting the correct fingers on the notes. Now to continue that, we're just going to play it at a higher octave, starting with the little finger. We're going to go down to the G string and play the G string like you just played the D string. We're going to skip a fret, little finger. Now the next string on the B string, middle finger, just like the top string, middle, little. Then 1st, 2nd. From the top, you should be able to practice that scale and get real comfortable with it. Really helps you in the style of music that you play to play a scale and using the correct fingers. Now I also talked about the 1-4-5. What is that? The 1-4-5 is basically your core chords that you use in a song. Let's say your song is in the key of G. What other 2 chords would go with that? We're going to do the major scale here at G. That's the E string, and that's going to be the 3rd fret. Now I want you to count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's look for the 1st, 4th, and the 5th note. 1, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. Now that you know that the 1-4-5 comes from the major scale, just play a 1-4-5 shape if you want to figure out what 3 chords go together. G. Now this note is C and D. How many songs have you heard that's got G, C, and D in it? A whole bunch. Let's put it to practice. G, C, and D work very well together. Let's say your song is in A. Let's play the 1-4-5 shape. 1, 4, 5. Let's give them a name. A, D, E. Now let's see how they sound together. So the 1-4-5 is very important. If you're trying to write a song, you want to know what chords work together, or if you're trying to figure a song out. If you know the song is in G, chances are C and D are going to be the next two chords. Now you can play 1, 4, 5 in any order that you want to, as long as it's a G, C, and D. But wait a minute, what about minors? Well, I want to show you how to apply a minor to the 1, 4, 5. Back to the major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then number 8 starts the next one. 1, 4, 5. Now we're going to look for the 2. It's always a good rule of thumb to add the 2 in the major scale to your 1, 4, 5 and add that as a minor. In this case, G, that's 1. The 2 is an A. So let's turn that 2 into a minor, an A minor. So let's do our core chords, G, C, and D, and throw in an A minor. See what that sounds like. That minor sounds pretty good. Remember, we used the 1 and then the 2. We added the 2 to the 1, 4, 5. We made that 2, which is an A minor. Another good rule is to add the 6 note as a minor. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6th note in the major scale in the key of G is an E note. Let's turn that E note into an E minor. Let's add that to the G, C, and D. That sounds pretty good. Well, let's go ahead and add both of them. Got the 1, the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to add the 2, which is an A, the 6, which is an E, and turn those both into minors. Let's play them both. So that's how you get your 1, 4, 5 and then add minors to it. Remember, what we just did was in the key of G. If you want to do it in A, just take everything we just did and move it up to A. Your A and then your 2, you go, first of all, your 1, 4, 5 is A, D, and E. The 2, in this case, would be a B note, so you add a B minor. A, B minor, D, and E. Okay? You can also add the 6 there.